Wait, let's say our pronouns real quick. I'm a he.
I'm a starfish. You and I are sick.
You walked into a lion's den.
You wouldn't know that it was human meat until they said to you, human carpaccio.
When I think about eating people, not only do I think about how they would taste, but I also like to think about their personality.
Walked into a lion's den.
Just call me my guy and we're good.
Yeah, call me my dude. That's it. You sound like the dumbest robot made.
I am the dumbest robot.
Thank you for listening to Splittin Hairs. On this podcast, you're gonna learn about yourself. I'm Ashlynn Salzano.
My name is Chris Metcalf.
We're all lizard people anyway.
Hey, follicles.
Hello, lovers.
Hey, lovely follicles.
Nice to see you. I hope you had a great holiday Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're in the taint of the year.
We're in
Taint of the
taint of the
holidays.
year.
The little gap just in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. The Christmas time.
Yeah, and the new year.
And then we dip into another taint, a smaller taint for
To the new year.
Christmas into the new year.
Yeah.
And then my favorite day of the year, Jan 2nd, coming up.
January 2nd.
Love me a good January 2nd.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're starting something new, Chris and I. We're gonna try to. What are we trying to do, Chris? Let the people know what we're trying to do.
We are just two balls of raw talent, and sometimes
two hairy balls of raw talent.
And sometimes you gotta give yourself some boundaries. So we're
That's a lot coming from you.
Of huge. So we in honor of the name Splittin Hairs and the fact that we love to argue, right? We were talking about the other night. We love to argue. We can fight, and yet somehow she puts up with me, and we're still friends.
Yeah.
So we have
purple heart.
Yeah, a purple. Yeah, you get a purple heart.
Yeah.
for all the charity work you're doing by hanging around me. But yeah, so I mean, we're kind of coming in with some. I guess, I don't know, things to split hairs over.
Yeah, we're coming in with a new vibe. We're trying to have a new vibe, and we're going to keep the same, the same flow, different vibe.
Right.
Ugh, I'm such a fucking genius.
Chef's kiss on that one.
And we're going to try to, bring some things, what we notice that we like about the pod is when we bring some things and we kind of end up arguing about it, but either A, being both wrong.
Right. Right.
Or the fact that, it's about point of view, and it's just it's your world, and you can believe whatever you want.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You can believe that you're funnier than me, but we know that that's wrong.
That I
am. So we got 3 topics. We might get to some. We don't know. We're just trying things out. We appreciate you guys listening. So we're just trying some things out. Our first topic we have is seasonal depression versus regular depression.
Yeah. This was a good one that you threw on the list. I liked it. Where was your head at when you?
Of course you liked it. I wrote it. That was not up for debate. Well, when I wrote this down, more of what I was thinking was how do you know when you're just not just a depressed person, right?
Right.
How do you know the difference?
And we're back from technical difficulties. It's just one of those boop, boop, boop,
I hope you enjoyed the commercial.
Yeah.
Brought to you by silence.
Yeah.
Deafening silence.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what I was saying was I don't know if there's a difference, right? I don't be knowing I'll be all depressed, and then all of a sudden the sun comes up and I'm life is good.
Right.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Life isn't so bad. And what's the scary part is I don't even realize it when it's it's been too dark and I'm depressed. I don't even, in my head, I don't go, I haven't had a lot of sun.
Yes.
Even though it happens, it never really crosses my mind.
Right. So I'm with you because I'm not oh, winter's here, sad time. But when I see the sun, I'm psyched, right? And I
feel like a vampire, like Edward Cullen from Twilight. The sun hits me and I'm glistening. I feel yes, and I got the crystals and all of that shit.
Yeah. Wait, don't vampires hate the sun?
Though Edward Cullen in Twilight, he doesn't die in the sun. He
oh, he's a
shines.
Sunbathing vampire. Yeah. Oh, that's kind of hot.
Okay, we know what Chris is gonna be searching on porn tonight.
No, but I'm with you. And then, but I've heard when I hear people say seasonal depression, I always thought I always just attributed to like, you get vitamin D from the sun.
Yeah.
We get like similar to like plants, like we get energy, like some energy from the sun, like so like it all kind of correlates with like being happier with the sun, and there's less sun. It's you're like malnutritioned and pale and just you know what I mean? But like so that's all I thought it was. But then I lived with somebody whose like doctor literally diagnosed him with seasonal depression, and he had like a light, like a light that like emulated the same light temperature as the sun in his
I've
room
heard of
for
those,
the winter.
And people in Alaska use those.
Yeah. There's a sick vampire movie that takes place in Alaska with Josh Hartnett. I forget what it's called, but that movie's fucking sick too.
Okay.
It's called like 7 Days of Night or something like that.
I like that.
Yeah, it's badass. If we're gonna talk vampires, they can't go in the sun, but that's why they go to Alaska.
Like Blade.
Yeah.
Love
Blade.
But go ahead. What were you saying?
But yeah, I always just was like, seasonal depression. It's like not a real, like it's not like a doctor.
Yada. Yeah.
But apparently, doctors actually like some people like you and I have it bad, but like we don't have like a light in our room.
Yeah,
like we don't
bad.
have like special medication or whatever. Like this dude that I lived with, it hit him hard. Winter hit him hard.
Winter is coming was like dangerous for him.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it hits all of us hard. I just think like, I think if you already have depression, it probably just like enhances it.
Well, right, because it's just like, well, guess one more thing to be sad about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, pile it on. It's cold and dark.
Well, you're already sad, and then all of a sudden, you're like, well, now joy has been taken away because I gotta like sit in the cold, and by 5 p.m., it's nighttime. Right. So like, I guess the day is over. It's just like sad.
But you know what's funny?
And if you work like a 9 to 5, by the time you're coming home, it's nighttime.
It's fucking dark. Yeah. Forget it. Done. No sun.
I don't know why we need daylight savings.
Right. It's gonna naturally get darker anyways. Then why are you cutting it off even more?
Exactly.
I'm not a farm. No one farms. I mean, they do, but
no
like
one's
they don't
farming.
Need it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They don't need it. Yeah, it's fucking weird. But also what's weird, though, is, like, do you ever meet people who are like, oh, yeah, I love the winter, I love the cold. And I'm like, what's wrong with you? But they're happy?
No, I don't meet people like that.
Really?
I think because if someone said that to me, I think I'd walk away. I'd be like, yeah, no. I'd just walk away. I'd be like, absolutely not. Like, that we have nothing in common.
Like
you like this, you like being like freezing and your teeth being like you like not going outside, you like how dark it gets. No. You're not my type. No. You're not my type of person.
Yo, shouts out to my friend Pat, because he is like the nicest kid ever, and he's just like this like real nice like Long Island dude. He's just like, oh dude, I love the cold. It's the best. Yeah. He's just like, and he's like one of the happiest people I know, but he loves like the winter and the cold. Yeah. And I'm like, but I tell him like, you're fucking out of your minds.
How many bodies you think Pat has under his?
Oh, easily 100. Yeah, easily.
He's nice and he likes winter. No.
Yeah.
If you're miserable and like winter, I guess I'm like, okay, this is your season. But you're happy and you like winter. I don't know. Not adding up, Pat. Not adding up, Pat. But it's also like. And like that's been on my mind, seasonal depression, and then like people have been losing it.
Oh yeah, we've been talking about this. Yeah.
Yeah, like people have been losing it. Like crime is up or whatever, but also like just the type of stuff that are happening, not even crime wise. I mean, I guess they fall under crime, but like just people's mental state, where you're just like, this isn't just like regular crime, like robbery. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like. All these other crimes, so this is like people losing it. A cry for help.
Right.
Is like happening here.
Right.
And it's fucking strange, because I've been thinking about seasonal depression, then I'm like, regular depression exists too.
Well, I think what's happening is that, like, I think before COVID, nobody ever fathomed COVID happening. Yeah. And then when COVID happens, it's like hard, I think, for a lot of people, including myself, like to swallow the fact that now that that's on the table as a possibility, it's hard to be like, the world is my oyster, where you're like, not really, because Omarion can get worse and like
Not
take us down. Like,
necessarily. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like I feel like people are like having a tough time adjusting to like the new world or like the uncertainty of it.
Yeah. And when we've always talked about pandemics, it's always been like apocalyptic, like the world will just end and we will all die and like 5 will survive. But it's like, you know, we're like in lockdown and then we're not, and then
you don't get to go to Buffalo Wild Wings,
right? But also like, can we like should we plan to go on vacation February? No, we can't. Like now this new virus is here, so like. Like you were saying, like the world is ours, but also like not really, because if the government says tomorrow that it's the reality that there could be a lockdown, right? Because the government goes, the numbers have spiked, hospitalization has spiked, we're locked down again.
Like that.
You're just like, great. Like I've watched all the anime, all the porn, all like I've watched all of it. Like what am I gonna do in this one?
What else is there?
It's like now you got to think about that being a possibility,
right?
And that's like depressing itself. You know what I mean? And I think that's happening. And the reason why we started talking about this, a lot of things in the news this week. We're here in New York, and we had
that dude at the UN.
Yeah.
You want? Yeah. So for the non-New Yorkers or people that don't listen to news, this guy fucking shows up at the UN with a sawed-off shotgun and a bag. They didn't know what was in the bag. I don't think there was anything in it, but standing in front of the UN.
An empty bag.
Yeah.
What a fucking tease.
With lunch in it.
Yeah.
They brought a bomb squad down there.
Yeah, he's got a tuna sandwich.
A diffuser, as we call it on the show.
They got a robot, and the robot can't even, like, because you know how they say, like, tuna isn't real, isn't tuna, like canned tuna?
Yeah,
the robot can't even recognize it. It's like, it's a bomb, but it's like a tuna sandwich.
It's just a sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. So go ahead.
But he basically, like, he didn't point the gun at anybody, apparently.
Just himself.
Just himself. He had it. There's pictures of it where he's holding it underneath his chin, and he's pacing back and forth and saying he wants to negotiate because he wanted some sort of, like, documents or something to be, like, sent somewhere specifically. And, like...
He wanted his passport, and it's just... It's really... He needed his passport. He really wants to go to Aruba next year, and so what the fuck? What is this? He needs some documents. Do we know what the documents were?
Well, that was the thing. Is like I heard about it the day of. It's happened at like 10 a.m. in front of the UN, and then it all ended by like 3 p.m. or something like that. In both articles I read, we don't know what the documents were. We don't know what he was really trying to negotiate. And he eventually gave up, and the police took him in. And in my mind, I kind of realized, like, you know, in the movies where they're like, bring in the negotiator.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to negotiate. But it's like, I don't think that's what this was. I think it was a bunch of cops being like, put the fucking gun down. And he's like, you're not listening to me. Like, and he's like, I have things to say, but he doesn't have a hostage.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a bomb. He's only threatening himself. So I don't think they call in the negotiator for that. Like, I think they're just like, put the goddamn gun down.
Well, what if they did call the negotiator, and the negotiator's like, get me on. And he's like, you know, he's got his fucking suit and the fucking necktie. He's like, get me on here. And he calls him, and he's like, what do you want, man? He's like, I got these documents. I really am trying to get my birth certificate, and I'm not. And the negotiator's like, no.
Snipe him.
Yeah.
Take him out.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
He's like used to these big negotiators. I want a helicopter.
Seasonal depression. Fuck
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
Classic.
Case closed. Bring in the sun.
Give him some vitamin D.
Yeah.
Hit him with a trank of vitamin D. We'll be good.
You know, doctors are like, hit him with the C40 and the CC9.
Yeah.
He's like, hit him with the sun. Get a depression light
The
coming
dude
in.
was pale looking.
No, he didn't look well.
He didn't look good.
He didn't look well. You can tell he's mentally unstable. Like, because you hit me up. You said, yo, do you see what's happening in the UN? I'm like, no. I thought they were storming the UN. I'm not going to lie. I was like, oh, I'm about to see a bunch of Trump supporters storming the UN, right? And then you're like, no, this is what's happening. And then you send it to me, and I'm like, oh, shit. And then it started coming in, and I saw the fucking pictures of him, like, walking around. I'm like, this guy does not look well. I mean, obvious to the shotgun pointed at his head, but I'm just like, in general, like, if I'm the cops, I'm looking at him, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be like, this is just like someone he's not gonna we need to worry about him harming himself.
Right.
More than like anything, because he just does not look well. And it's just like sad to see, right? Because it's like a grown ass man. He was like, what, 64?
Yeah, he wasn't. Yeah.
And that's like sad. Like, you don't want to see old people acting like that. You're like, yo, get yourself together. What is this? It was very sad. And I'm like, man, like, people are just going through it.
Well, I'm so curious about what got him there. Like, I hope it's not like just like, I hope it's not just like, he's schizophrenic. Like, I hope it's like, I don't know. Like, something drove him to like get there.
I feel like what you want is for it to be like, this man lost his family at COVID and they could have been saved. And like, you know what it was? Remember John Q? Denzel Washington, where his son was dying of cancer and he like, or he needed a heart transplant or something. They were giving it to someone else.
Yeah.
And he got fucking pissed and he held down the hospital. You remember that movie?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what you want it to be. Like, this guy was done wrong by the government and this is what the government gets.
Yeah. Like John Q with like, but he's white. So like, Michael, a little bit of Michael Douglas from Falling Down.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like he just was like pushed to that point.
Because, I mean, the situation isn't funny, but you just like hope for the best that it was like for a cause and not that just he's unwell. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
that
like.
He like maybe thought, I don't know, maybe there's like a bigger thing happening going
on,
you know?
Than just seasonal depression.
Yeah, than just he's just been inside too much.
What if the reporter, like the sergeants came out, they were like, guys, this is a classic case of seasonal depression. We'd all be like, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like, you know, the shooting in fucking Michigan, the school shooting. Did you hear about that?
Oh, no.
Yeah, this fucking, another school shooter, fucking 4 kids dead as of right now, and like 18 people injured, I think. Something like that. This kid shot up the school, man, and it was crazy because it was like, they had been emailing his parents, messaging his parents about his behavior, his weird behavior. That morning, his fucking parents came in for a conference, and the principal suggested taking him home, and the parents said no, and they left him there. And then like there's like something like the parents have been charged too. They left him there, and so at 10:30 a.m. the parents were there. 12:30 p.m. he went to the bathroom and like took out his gun and started shooting. And the parents have been charged with involuntary manslaughter.
What?
Yes, because the gun was the dad's and it was left out in the open. And not only that, the mom messaged the kid and was like, I'm not mad at you. You just have to learn how to not get caught. Like the teacher found out that he had that he was like on a website like ammunition, like an ammunition website, and the teacher made this big deal, and then the mom texted him about it and said, I'm not mad at you, you just have to learn how to not get caught. And then like the parents, as soon as the message, the news came out there was a school shooters, the mom texted him and was like, Ethan, don't do it. Like, so they've been charged with some shit. Like, this shit is crazy. This shit is wild. And it's like, man, when does it fucking end? Like, it's come to the point where I was kind of desensitized about it. Like, I'm going to be honest. When I first saw it on the news, I was like, another school shooting. That should never be the fucking, my answer. Like, that should never be across my head. Like, I'm sure some of you listening right now, like, you heard another school shooting, and I bet you some of you were like, oh, another one? Like, we've just, we've become so used to it. You know what I mean? And it was just like, I'm just like, fuck, like, we going through it as a country. Like, there's a lot of...
He shot 18 people?
I don't know if he shot 18 people. I don't know if 18 people were injured and then 4 died,
well, I guess
maybe.
People could get injured from, like,
running,
being trampled over. Right. How do they count those injury things? Like, do they count everything, like if a kid, like, bumps his arm into, like, a door? Is he like, I do have a bruise, or, like, one injury? Like, do they do it like that? Or is it, like, does somebody have to, like... be like
assess
checked
your
into
injury.
like a hospital, like a doctor.
You like go into the tent and they're like, let me see your injury. No, but I think like
no, this is from a few days ago. This isn't from
the
shooting.
I think a couple of people though. I think what happens is they want so many charges on you that anything they can get, I think that's what it boils down to. Because all those are counts. 18 counts of this, 12 counts of that.
Right.
Because he has like 12 counts of like using a deadly weapon as an assault. So maybe he like hit 12 people or 12 people got injured during that. And then the other 5 people got injured some way, somehow. I don't know how they do it, but you've seen that before, right? Where it's like they have like a lot of counts, and then but some of them are like only 12 counts when it was really 18 people that got injured. So I don't know how. I think they do that for counts. They like try to get everything.
Right. I'm sure it depends on like how the court sees it versus like, you know.
And he's getting charged as a terrorism.
Really?
Yep.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
They coming for y'all white boys hard.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, y'all not getting it as easy as y'all used to get. Y'all used to get Burger King on a ride to the precinct. Now y'all got terrorism on y'all.
Yo, what happened to these? What? Yo.
And there was no evidence of bullying. So it's just like crazy to me, like, because you showed me that, and then we're doing this, like, and then the Michigan shooting. You know what I mean? It's just been like, to me, it's like, how much of it is correlated to like the pandemic, right? All this, like, I mean, and we were talking about this earlier, like, you and I have had a rough year, but there are people who have had it rougher.
Yeah. Way rougher.
Like, there are people that have been alone completely. That shit
People
drives
who
you
lost
crazy.
Their jobs. People
lost
who lost
family.
Their career. Right. Yeah.
And so people are fucking going crazy.
Yeah.
And how much of it is fucking COVID? How much of it is seasonal depression? Who knows?
I think,
Fuck.
I think one of the major things to take away from this is to get rid of the changing of the time.
Yes.
To get rid of daylight savings.
If we can just stop all of this, get rid of daylight saving.
Just keep the time.
But
Optimal sunlight.
Also with COVID, and this reminded me of you. Did you read an article that this Italian man went to go get a COVID vaccine using a fake arm under a corset he had, and he just wanted to get his vaccine pass. Like, he just wanted the vaccine card, so he used a fake arm.
I don't want them. I do not want the mutations. I do not want this.
But this grown-ass man took a fake arm and thought this was gonna work. Like a fake arm, dude.
Like he's like trying, like, I'm imagining him trying to like keep the nurse or like the pharmaceutical like assistant's like attention on him. He's like, look at me while you do it. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Like trying to like no, keep looking at me. Look. Anyways, did you watch the match? The soccer match?
She's like, why is your hand different color than your other hand?
Arthritis.
But like also different color. Like
yeah. It's gangrene. Gangrene arthritis. He has no clue.
She's like, bend your fingers, like, you know how they tell you to sometimes make
He's
a
just
fist.
jiggling the arm.
But he says like, I can't, arthritis. Yeah.
Oh, mamma mia.
Like he watched A Weekend at Bernie's and was like, aha. Ding. Like I could just imagine him just like stiff arm, like they're like write your name, like.
Yo, and he has to do that because, like, I did hear that some people in fucking New York, probably Long Island, were doing fake vax cards. But over in Europe, it's all QR codes on the phones. So you can't, like, I go down to the copier, I make some copies, I do a little thing, I change a couple of things, and boom, I got a vaccine card.
Yeah.
Like how they've been doing out in Long Island. No, over there, they're like, I cannot build a website. Like, I don't know how to make QR codes.
It's a fucking chip in your fucking neck.
Yeah.
That's what the government should have done. Put chips in our necks.
Yeah.
All right. You have anything else about this? Anything else about the seasonal depression? Or
yeah, I mean, I think the thing, like you said, I think it's just, I mean, I guess doctors diagnose it. But, yeah, I think the consensus on this verse is I'm with you. I think it's just like it's a combo of things. Mm-hmm. If you're really depressed, it doesn't help, and outside of that, we're just not getting the vitamin D and sunlight
that we need. Yeah.
If this kid had maybe an orange in his backpack instead of a gun,
maybe
things would be better.
If his parents bought vegetables instead of a gun. The parents got the gun for fucking Black Friday, too.
Get this kid a fucking multivitamin.
Yeah.
And let's see what happens.
Why he's not eating Flintstone vitamins like we did. And then what's crazy, too, is that they found they found mad guns recently in like a New York City school, like an urban school too, like minority school, and I'm like, not one school shooting though, not one fucking school shooting though, not one school shooting. Okay, I know plenty of motherfuckers who've taken guns to school, and none of us had a fucking school shooter.
We took a major leap, by the way, in this splitting hairs thing because it's seasonal depression with guns.
Yeah, that's horrible. Oh my god. Anyways, here's our number 2 debate here.
Number 2 debate.
Chris is fingering the table.
Sorry,
No.
I don't actually do it like that. I'm like,
Yeah,
like I'm nicer.
bro,
about
you
it.
just put saliva on my fucking table.
My bad.
That's disgusting. Please. Oh my god. Anyways, number 2, movie theater versus streaming.
Oh yeah.
So we've been having this kind of debate, not really a debate with each other, but a debate
About the future of movies and where they stand.
I've been having this debate like within me. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if to support the streaming more or go to movie theaters more. Like it just like the thing is about streaming is that it's just very convenient.
Right.
Like I can be home, I don't have to move anywhere, I don't have to go anywhere. Especially I'm not even gonna lie to with this COVID thing. It's like I'm not even afraid like that I'm gonna die. I just don't want it. It's an inconvenience for me. Like then I can't do a show. You know, I gotta tell you, I can't do the podcast. I can't do the other podcast I'm on. I can't if I have a show. I can't fucking do the show. It's just an inconvenience. You know what I mean? Like I can't live a life. And that's more with it for me. And I'm like, oh, let's go to the movie theaters. Like that's just like people are eating, and it just seems gross to me right now. And so, like, I barely go to the movie theaters. But I'm really sad about it because I love movie theaters.
Have you been since COVID happened?
No.
See, I went for the first time, like, I don't know, earlier this week.
Yeah.
It was fine. I didn't feel, like, geeked out or anything. But it was like, I'm with you, right? Because I'm like, why do I need to like go all the way down here like to do all this? But at the same time, I enjoyed it. And I do enjoy going to the movies, and I always had enjoyed going to the movies. So it's this weird thing where you're like, oh yeah, I could watch it at home, but it's like I'm home all the fucking time.
Yeah. So
maybe I don't need to be at home. Also, I think when we were putting the list together, you had brought up, what are we doing where's movie popcorn go? If we're just going to like be obsolete with the movies. I realized also that this whole like the movies are in trouble, theaters are in trouble because of television. That was like that's why they started doing back in the day. They were like 3D movies. Come on down and watch Jaws 3D. Like because they were TV was beating them. People were like, why am I going to go to the movies? I can watch fucking I Love Lucy and shit on TV. I don't need to go down there.
There's definitely a nostalgia of going to the movie theaters, right? Like, there's definitely, like, the smell of a movie theater. Like, I love the carpets in a movie theater. Like, I love the posters, too. Like, I love, like, when they always have that section, like, coming soon posters. I love seeing that shit. Love the escalators. That's stupid. There's just, like, it's a whole event. And I really like it.
You're, like, pampered to a certain degree, right? Like, especially if you get the ones with, like, the sick chairs. And you're just like, all right, like, it's huge with the fucking sound.
Yeah, and you go and you're like, you know, and it also feels like because there's food and snacks, it also feels like a nice event where you're just like, yeah, let me grab 3 boxes of candies, let me grab the popcorn, give me the nachos, extra cheese. Like it's just kind of an event. It's a whole to do, and I do miss that, and there's definitely like some of that but it's just also like I can have my own snacks here. I can cook dinner and watch a movie. Like, I can have people over. Like we watched Halloween Kills. We got food and we watched Halloween Kills. And I bet you we saved money. I bet you we saved, like, a shit ton of money by staying home.
Right.
But it's, like, crazy because it's, like, if we don't give in to it, it's, like, it's like that thing with the technology, that problem I have with technology where it's like, oh, you're so fucking convenient. You're so cool.
Right.
But if I keep supporting you, you're going to ruin it.
You're ruining my mental health, and I have seasonal depression as it is.
Yes. So I'm not even going outside because, like, winter's when the movies...
You're keeping me inside more.
Yeah, and winter's when the movie theaters thrive. Like, that's their
Right.
best season. The summer's where they kind of, like, struggle because everybody, you want something to do inside.
Right.
So you go to movie theaters, and, you know, that's why they have, like, drive-in movie theaters, right? Like, they have that kind of stuff to kind of keep it alive.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like now I'm staying in my house even more. Like, I'm not even just going out to support a movie and, like,
Right.
go out and feel human again. I'm, like, in my house, like, just my space. Mine. It's mine.
Yeah.
Mine. No one's been here, you know?
Yeah.
So it's fucking crazy.
Well, you got to also take into account, and I know this is not a problem for you because you have, like, one of the biggest fucking TVs that I have of any of my friends, I think. But, like, most people... Like, when I went to the movies, I saw House of Gucci, which was fucking, I thought was terrible.
Recently? Okay.
Yeah. But I didn't know. I think I would have liked it more if I knew the story first of, like, what happened. But I didn't know all that stuff.
What happened to Gucci?
Yeah, like, I didn't know all that stuff. So it was just kind of, like, this weird drawn out. I was like, why is this 3 hours? Anyway, I'll give it to Lady Gaga, though. She was good, though.
Movies got to stop being 3 hours. They need to stop.
Yeah.
I missed the hour and a half. Remember that? When you can go to a movie and not spend the whole day there?
Right.
You remember that?
I'm talking to you, Scorsese.
Yeah.
You fuck. Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And James Cameron?
Yeah, and what's his goddamn name? The dude who did the Justice League movies. That righteous piece of shit.
Is it Mike? It's what an M, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that fucking guy did like a fucking 4.5 or 5 hour like director's cut of Justice League in black and white and has the bars on the side like Bad Bunny.
But Titanic was like one of the first movies to also like do that shit. Like remember when it came with 2 VHS?
Oh, the first one, well, maybe not the first one, but who did that before was The Godfather.
Father, yeah. It had like
that
three.
was a double VHS.
It had like 3 VHS.
Yeah, and then if you had the trilogy.
You had like a whole fucking, you had like a bookshelf of it. Yeah.
Yeah, only freaks like 3 though. But wait, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, the movies, yeah, like.
So you went and you saw Gucci 3 hours.
I saw Gucci 3 hours. Now, the person I went with, it was like between that and going seeing the Marvel movie, and my gut was like,
well, which Marvel movie? Shanghai.
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say the Asian one.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know what it's called.
That's so American of you. And the reason why I say that is because I do the same. You know.
I'm just like the Asian Marvel movie. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's just like so American of you to just do it like that.
Yeah.
But it's like what I do like about. All right, so I did see that movie. Sorry, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. You're good.
I did see that movie. I have a couple of problems with it. Okay.
Okay.
One.
Too many Asians.
No.
That was a joke. I'm joking. It's a joke. It's a comedy podcast.
Shanghai. I didn't think it was gonna be Asian. Caught me off guard there. Okay. Know how to name it. Here's one thing I did like about it, right? They stay true to like the Asian culture, and they got like Chinese speaking, or you would say Mandarin, Mandarin speaking actors. I do like that. I love that shit. I love when I need subtitles. I like it. I like watching the Korean shows like Squid Games. I like watching the new one Hellbound.
I've been watching that too.
I love watching shit like that. I'm not ignorant to that. I'm not like, so I love that shit. I love that they stay true to their Asian culture. Now, what I hated was the fucking casting was horrible, okay? You had Shang-Chi or Shanghai, I forgot what it is. He has a younger sister. Why his younger sister look like 50? Why his younger sister look like she was 70? Much respect to the actress. I'm not trying to push. Even the makeup, they put hard makeup on her. It like took me out of the. I swear to God, like first of all, he and Aquafina's on it. You know, Aquafina, the comedian.
Yeah.
She's on it. Aquafina's not 24 years old, okay? Like, you look at Aquafina, Aquafina's not fucking 24 years old. But fine, you're making me believe that Aquafina and him are 24 years old. I'll eat it, right? Because they're like 31, 32. I'll eat that. But his sister comes in, and she looks like 50. I'm done. Like I've been pulled out. You know what I mean? Because like when you watch a movie, you gotta yes and everything. That's how I
Right.
feel. You watch a movie, you yes and it all. I can't be blind to age. Like I'm like
Right.
I see this bitch look older than him.
Right.
This is his grandmother. Like what are you talking about? But anyways, sorry, I just had to talk about. So
Well, the action must have been good because
the action was amazing. The
so I
fighting
should have
was
seen
amazing.
that in theaters,
Yeah.
which brings it back around to the point because I will one side note, House of Gucci bad also because
What?
the House of Gucci was
Oh,
bad because
you said who's Gucci? I thought
House
you
of
said
Gucci
I thought you said Scuba Gucci.
was bad because unlike your movie that you just described with the Chinese culture and the actors and stuff, these are a bunch of Americans doing terrible Italian accents. Terrible fucking Italian accents. It was horrible. And then I don't know who played the one designer guy. I'm pretty sure it was Jared Leto. I haven't looked it up, but he's doing like that. What do you mean? Like the way I do it, like bullshit. And you're
God,
like, I'm supposed to believe this
Yeah.
fucking shit.
and first of all, I hope it's not Jared Leto because he's a method actor. You know that, right?
Yeah, I
So
think it might have. We should look up who played that guy. I'll look it up, or yeah, you can look it up. It was ridiculous, but like, it was a younger actor, but they did him like up in makeup like crazy. But anyway, I should have seen that movie because that's a movie theater movie.
Because of how loud it is.
Marvel, the action,
Yeah.
all that stuff. I could have saved.
Jared Leto.
It is Jared Leto, right? I knew it was fucking. And you see what he looks like in it? When he talks, it's insane. It's insane. And it's like the worst Italian accent I've ever heard. And I'm not even saying it because
Well-
I'm offended. It's just like bad.
Lady Gaga also was like, I think method acting. She was like, it took me like even after the movie was done, like I kept acting like her. And I was like, yo, that's insane.
She was good. I will
Yeah,
give it to her.
well, she's a great actress.
Yeah.
She's a great actress, but a lot of people made fun of her accent because they were like, what is this Russian fake Italian? But some people that were close to her name is not Gucci. Her name is
I forget her name, but yeah.
the people that were close were like, that was perfect. That's exactly how she sounded. Like,
Right.
And it was just like, I don't know, but I get what you mean. It's like, put the potato in the salad,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
And they would even like all like kind of like dip in and out, like because they're doing these like dramatic
Yeah.
scenes. So it'd be like, darling, what do you mean? And then they kind of like you could like feel them like dip into their normal accent, but then they're like, oh, I gotta have Italian this part up a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. And it was just like oh god.
Right.
But so the point being though that like you have the advantage of having a giant TV and like good sound system here, but I don't think everybody does.
Right.
And so for people who don't have that, like for someone like me, like I think I'm gonna just start quarantining like the movie theaters to like theater worthy
Right.
movies. And
Like
not
Godzilla, Planet of the Apes.
Yes.
Avengers, like
Yes.
any of those like
Wild
loud,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even though I got like a nice TV, yeah, I still would go to movie theaters for
you know
that
what I mean?
shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
There are just certain movies like Spider-Man. Like I don't really want to watch that on my TV. Like
Right.
I'm not going to get the full effect.
I'm not gonna. Yeah.
I like cuz you know what it is about those kind of movies? You've got to not be distracted by anything else.
Because they're so
So
not that good. They're so just okay.
They're just so ridiculous.
Yeah.
That you can't pay attention to one thing because you're like, wait, why did this boy get bit by a spider? And you know what I mean?
Right.
Because if like I gotta get up and cook and shit, like I gotta do real people shit. I'm like cutting I'm cutting onions and shit. I'm like, wait, why would if I got bit? But that don't even make sense. Like I don't
Right.
even like Spider-Man. This is and then he has spider webs out his hand, and that's not even how spiders make web. You know,
Right.
like so like you gotta have like a big ass TV for that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, and the sound too. You gotta lose yourself.
Right.
Not hear anything else.
And you got to remember. I know it might sound a little pretentious, but I don't. I like it. Like some directors, like those, like the dude who did Tenet, who
Mhm.
also did what's that other one, Inception and shit.
Mhm.
Like he was like rightfully so. They make a lot of these guys make these movies to be seen in the theater. Like they're not making the movie. Like yes, you'll buy it on DVD or stream it later, but they want it to be watched like in the theater.
And not just for money, but for the experience.
Right.
Like
they
creativity.
It's like the one part of the film that has art behind it
Yeah.
is like the director. So they like want it to be like seen that way. And when, if that gets stripped away eventually, or we can have that, that's going to change things like a lot.
Yeah, it kind of brings me to like how it affects us, right? Because like we felt that way when we were doing stand up on Zoom.
Yes, exactly.
Where it's like it could be on Zoom. Like, yeah, we could put it on TV. We put stand up on TV. We put specials all the time.
Right.
But it's meant to be seen live.
Right.
So it's like when you create something, you want it to be. When you're creating it, you're envisioning how it's going to be watched.
Yeah.
Or seen or anything like that. And when that changes, it changes things, and they're pissed off. Yeah.
Right.
Like The Quiet Place, John Krasinski. Like that was one of the first movies to come out on theaters after COVID, like one of the first big movies. And he went out to movie theaters and like surprised people, and he was saying like I don't want it on streaming service. I'm not releasing it. Like that is not what I like. Yeah, like you said, DVD, sure. But I want to create a movie that's in movie theaters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, like, I get that. And maybe we should just start. Because, like, I know for us, like, as performers, like, when we did this podcast, we were like, we want this on YouTube. So we had an envision of how YouTube it will be. Like how it would be on YouTube. When we do stand-up, like that time where we went to Colorado and I had to do it on Zoom and you had to do it live. Like, I wish I was there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's just like it affects us in some way, because if we keep proving that people don't want to go out to do things and they rather go home, like it affects us too as performers,
Right.
Makes me worried, because I would love, like, honestly, one of my secret goals that I rarely ever talk about is I would love to write a movie. I would love to write a movie and direct it.
Really?
Yeah, that's like that's one of my quiet goals. That's something I like keep to myself.
Right.
Yeah, but now I just told a million people.
Now everyone knows.
A million
Yeah.
people. All 2 people know.
All you millions of follicles
Yeah.
out there.
But so that's something like I like go, fuck, man, I should stop streaming so much.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
How do you feel about that as a performer?
You pretty much nailed it on the head.
And you do, your background is like production, right?
I used to really want to write and direct a movie. And not that I don't, but I think I did so much of that stuff that I was like, it's a lot of work. Like directing. I mean, even writing a movie is a lot of work, but like directing a movie, like everybody's coming to you. The clothing people, the light. What should we do with this? What should we do with this? What should we do with this? What about that? What about like everybody? And then you gotta like make all these decisions and like still keep it all together and like be the leader, and like it is like,
well, you're
nuts.
responsible, right? Like you always hear like when a movie's bad, they mostly like blame it on the director.
Yeah.
Because it's like you got all these things that you need to piece together.
The fucking
this was
CEO, yeah.
This was your vision.
Mhm.
It was your vision, right? That's why Quentin Tarantino is one of my favorite directors.
Well, he's like one of the only guys who's got like full carte blanche to like do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
And talk about theaters, he even did the Hateful Eight. That one he did.
Mhm.
He did. I remember I saw that in theaters, and he released it in some special extra wide format, like only for theaters. It was the only way you could watch it because of like this specific format. You wouldn't even be able to like. I don't even think you'd be able to properly watch it on your TV because it's like film or something like that. I don't even know all the weird details about it, but like, again, he's a theater. He bought and owns his own theater.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think it's in LA, but he owns his own theater. And
I
he
gotta go.
Yeah.
What?
Go to the
I
Quentin
gotta
Tarantino
go.
movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a film nerd.
He's someone that I'm like, please, no sexual harassment case, please. Like,
oh well, he's a freak. You know the stuff about him with the feet and like all that shit.
I don't give a fuck about his kinks.
Right.
Have all your kinks. I don't judge.
He told the line, and if he did anything, no one's come out about it. So
but
yeah.
that's one of. That's like one, like sometimes when you're like praying for someone.
That's
like,
how I feel about Bad Bunny. I'm
Oh,
like, please, nothing. Please, nothing.
That's how I feel. I mean, but I'm not as worried about him as I am about Quentin Tarantino.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
he's, yeah. I think he's married with a kid, so I think he's on the.
I don't care about his kinks. I just don't want the illegal.
Right. I guess the path could be unearthed also.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Unearthed, yeah. So what do you think? You think streaming will be like, you think that's the future? You think that's where we're headed?
I think the only way that streaming is going to the only way they're going to fully obsolete movie theaters is if they can make at-home entertainment systems as available and cheap as they do streaming.
Yeah.
Because I just think that people are still going to want to go see the King Kongs and the Godzillas and all that shit. Who doesn't want to see that in the fucking movie theater? Who's like, I'd rather watch it on my laptop.
Well, here's the thing, though, right? Here's the thing. We're talking about money. And the thing is with money is that, like, you could stream something for $20 that just came out. You get a bunch of friends together. That's nothing compared to what you would have spent in the movie theater. So, like, I can see, like, parents, right? It's a smart thing for parents, right? Like, oh, instead of, like, getting the kids out and, like, trucking them along, that's how many, like, we're spending, like, $20 and to be with our kid. And you also have to watch the movie as a parent, right? If you're in the movie theaters,
right.
Not if you're at home.
Right.
And it's like the money thing. Because, like, if we want to go to the movie theaters, I mean, I know you and I love the movie theater. You know what? It's different. But if we're regular people and we just want to watch a movie and we don't really love the art of it, why not? $20, we can all see the movie.
Right. For all the people that used to only be able to see a movie that they were excited about before all the streaming shit, they used to have to go to the movies. But now, that's a good point. The people who aren't into the people who are like, yeah, I go to the movies sometimes because it's my only option if I want to see this movie and I don't want to wait. All those people you've lost all of them they're all never going to the movies again.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. Those people you're lost. Right. So now you have like all like the nostalgia people and then like the half kind of in it people who are like, yeah, I can go to the movies. I haven't been in a while. I'll go. But then you have all the people who are like, I'd love to go, but not while there's any sort of COVID around.
Yeah.
Because they're just like geeked out by.
Exactly. And like dates. Like, how do you ask a date out to the movie theaters? Like, it's not really COVID friendly. For some reason, restaurants seem more when they're not. You know what I mean? You're at a bar.
That's how I look at it. I'm like, what's the difference?
Yeah. I mean, once you're out, you're out. Especially, we're doing stand-up. So, like, we're fucking.
Yeah. I'm getting my little spit all over the people.
And everyone is spitting
all laughing back at me.
Exactly.
It's a battle of the spits.
Yeah, the battle of the spits. That's really what stand-up is. It's the battle of the spits.
One versus everybody.
Yeah.
I'll play you guys. Let's go.
Exactly. You guys are about, like, but you win the more you get spat on.
Yeah.
Because as a comedian, you want people to laugh.
You want
at
them laughing.
Yeah. So you're winning by getting more spit at.
It's a bukkake of germs.
Yeah.
You just get it all over me.
Exactly. So like, fuck, what was I saying?
They've lost all those people, and so it's
date night and like date night too. Like, how do you get a date to go to like a movie theater? Like, I feel like for some reason it just feels less safe than the movie theater than a bar.
Right.
So that was a huge thing, right? Like movie theaters as a date. You know, kids do that. You know, now parents probably don't want them in the movie. It's just like, how bad has it fucked it up? And like, how bad is streaming going to fuck up the movie? Like, are they gonna be able to coexist too? Right? Because there could be a thing where you said like there are certain movies from now on, like the movie theaters have realized like, no, we don't really drop rom-coms. We just drop like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like now the movie, like what gets played at a movie theater changes maybe.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Can they coexist?
But they do a lot of them where they're doing both. They'll play the like
I was gonna
it
say
will be in
else.
theater and on
streaming.
streaming.
Yeah. That's what
HBO
some
does
movie
that.
and some other movie. Disney did that with some movie. I think it was Mulan.
Okay.
I think Mulan was in the movie theaters and available for like $25 on Disney.
Right.
I think it came out both like that, and then I think they did that with Black Widow, or some of them they just have released to streaming.
Right. Yeah, I think they're just going to have to, similar to like the music industry, they're just going to have to, specifically movie theaters and I guess movies, they're just going to have to recalibrate how they, like, what is considered successful. You know, like music used to be how many records do you sell? Now, you don't measure an artist on how many records they sell. I mean, that's still a metric, but it's like, how many views, how many downloads, how many like streams, like all this shit.
Yeah,
like,
because now you're hearing like the artists too. Like they'll be like, "Oh, Bad Bunny was the #1 artist streamed." Like it's no longer the #1 selling artist.
Right.
Like now they're writing articles always about like the most streaming artists
Right.
and stuff like that.
So it's like that game is like changed. So I just think it's gonna have to, the metric's gonna have to change. But I'd like to think that there will always be enough of a industry where like it will always kind of exist, hopefully. I don't know. It's like tough for me to see it completely gone forever. I could see it like dwindling down and then being maybe less, perhaps. Or maybe they get more expensive and there's less movies in the theaters, but the ones that are there are like really like
You want to see
theater,
this in a movie.
yeah. Or like they're like movies that they're just like, we refuse to stream this. So if you want to
like
fucking
The Quiet
see it,
Place.
yeah, like you have to come to the theaters to see it.
Yeah, I wonder where that's gonna. I wonder where that's gonna lead. But you and I are definitely not helping. By seeing one, I'm seeing zero. We're definitely not helping.
No.
Yeah, and we've watched a shit ton of streaming movies. So you and I are. Garbage.
And after that sister thing with Shanghai, I'm definitely not going to see that. There's nothing worse than a miscast movie. I'm looking at you, Tom Cruise and Valkyrie. You fuck.
Yeah, or Matt Damon in fucking The Wall. Was it Matt Damon in The Wall?
Oh, I don't think I've seen.
It was like
that.
it was about the Wall of China, and they fucking it was.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
Matt Damon, and you're like, what the fuck is he? Like, this is an Asian fucking movie.
Right.
Put an Asian actor. What are you doing?
Like when John Wayne played Genghis Khan. Did you ever see those video clips or those images?
You know what's funny? Is that I usually get mad at like when it's not like cast well, right? Like when I hate like when it's just like, you know, whatever this movie is about, cast it about it. Like, don't fucking do this bullshit. Like, don't miscast it with like a white person or anyone. Like anything that just doesn't. Stop it, right? Like, if you're gonna write the story, make sure you use the people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
use the right people. But the one that is an exception, and I hate to do this to my people, but it's Al Pacino and Scarface. That is an exception. That I forgive.
I did not know where this was going.
That I forgive. He played.
I think a lot of people forgive that.
He played one hell of a Cuban. He made us proud.
Well, but also he's like not even like a normal like Cuban. He's like a character on its like. Aside from his nationality, just like the character alone is like so wild.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like so crazy. Like, it's not even like he's playing like a normal, like he was trying to play like a Cuban father in Cuba. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's like raising a family. He's playing like a cocaine lord.
Still, we deserve that. Like I said, you're going to write the story, use the people. That's not fair. Okay?
That's
not fair. We get patted in the fucking airport a lot, okay? You don't get patted in the fucking airport like we do, all right?
And you know who else
they always think we're fucking drug mules, all right? Just because of Scarface.
And you know who else isn't getting patted down? Al Pacino.
I love Al Pacino.
They should do.
He does no wrong in my eyes.
They should do a remake of that movie with John Leguizamo as Scarface.
Sure.
Get a real Latin in there.
Yeah.
A theater Latin.
I fucking love John. Oh, they should use Lin-Manuel Miranda. They should make it a fucking musical.
Let's do, Lin-Manuel redo Scarface.
Yeah.
And then he'll use the darkest Hispanics in that one.
Yeah, and that one. Afro-Latinos.
The wrong one.
Yeah. Fucking Lin-Manuel. The world is his. The world is ours. The world is mine. The world is ours.
Say hello to my little friends.
Hello. Sing hello to my little friend. Hello. That is a movie though that I forgive. I don't give a fuck. He played a great Cuban.
Yeah. Yeah, that movie's crazy.
Yeah.
That movie is like, it's so ridiculous you can't not like it, but when you like, it's like not a good, it's like a crazy movie and a fun movie, but it's like not like a good movie.
I think you should watch your mouth before you fucking get slapped across this table.
It's like watching like GTA.
No, it's not. Because it's so wild. You're just like, what is this?
Yeah.
But it's wild. That was the truth, Chris. That's how it was down there in Miami. It looks like GTA, but that's what it really was.
No,
Motherfuckers was really getting shut up like that.
Yeah, no, I know.
It is like a GTA movie.
Just...
But it has a great through line. The only thing I don't like, spoiler alert, and if you haven't watched Scarface, don't talk to us, is when he kills Mano. Who's it killed? Manolo. I hate when he kills Manolo.
Oh, yeah.
That is to me, I was like, you're garbage. You deserve to die, Tony Montana. But when I was a kid, I fucking loved that movie because I loved The World Is Mine. I love that movie.
Yeah.
That one part was like, I would get like goosebumps when I saw that part as a child.
Really?
Yeah, when I was all but 9 years old. I would get like goosebumps. I would see that like, and I could hear the song. It's that song that they fucking play, and I see it. I used to get goosebumps because I used to be like, the world is mine. And now I'm a drug cartel for laughter.
You just have like a big pile of jokes in front of you.
Yeah.
The one part of that movie that bugged me out was like, I was like, it's just like, you know, his whole thing with his sister. It's just like, bro, come on.
Oh, because he wanted to fuck his sister?
Yeah, I mean, they don't say it. He doesn't say, I mean, she kind of says it, like, where she's like, you want to fuck me, Tony?
Yeah.
You want to fuck me?
That's what it is, Tony?
Yeah. Like, that was just, that part. I mean, I guess it's all the coke.
I feel like that part is like, if I look at that part, it reminds me of, like, you and Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think out of all people, you would understand he wants to fuck his sibling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Now I want to watch that movie. I haven't seen it in a while.
Yeah.
Good one.
It's a good one. It's a good movie. Do you have
Should we get in our what? I don't even know what time we're at.
We're done.
Oh
buddy.
shit! Only
Yeah.
2 topics. We'll bring the other one up. We
got another topic, but we'll
went
bring that
deep into the movies today.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that movie talk. That sweet, sweet movie talk.
Shoo up.
That's the beginning of Scarface Lin-Manuel.
They traveled on a boat.
Yeah. On a boat.
Yeah. When they released too many Cubans.
And then you know how you always like throw something like Latin in it to be like, oh, it's Latin. He's like, mi gente.
Olé.
Yeah. Tortilla chips.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have a would you rather?
Yeah. Would you rather be the lead role in the Lin-Manuel Scarface, the new Lin-Manuel Scarface, or the new Lin-Manuel Shanghai movie?
That's easy. That's gonna be fucked up for you. You can't say either. You can't answer this
Why?
because you shouldn't take any of these lead roles. I know you Italians. I know you Italians are used to taking the Hispanic lead roles.
Wait, what's a better? I can't think of I'm trying to think of a good movie. What's a good movie we don't want Lin-Manuel to do a remake of?
The Titanic. And not even because it's a good movie. It's just like, can you imagine Lin-Manuel doing the Titanic? How
Okay.
long it is?
So between those
2 hours of like, Jack was a boy in the basement. He loved the girl who is not in the basement. You know, I can't deal with this.
All right, so those
In the
2
Heights.
movies. Yeah.
All of a sudden, like Jack and Rose are traveling to the Heights.
In the icebergs.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Lin-Manuel, Titanic, or Scarface. 1, 2, 3.
Titanic. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't want to be part of ruining a movie that's fun.
Because at least I get to die at the end.
Oh, you think you're Jack?
Do you see me as Rose?
I'm just fucking. Oh no, I saw you as the guy who was like the jerk husband.
But he lives.
Yeah.
I saw me and Kate as the couple that like pulls the blanket.
And you just let the water take you.
Yeah.
You just take the flood.
But just because we're like lazy, we're like, oh, there's so much drama. The drama's not fierce up there.
What's that actress's name? I'm the fat lady who gets away.
You're the baby that the husband uses
to get onto the boat. That's the Lin-Manuel. I'm a giant 30-year-old man, but I'm a baby.
Yeah. I have a would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather seasonal depression for your whole life or streaming movies for your whole life?
All right. Are we going?
1, 2, 3. Streaming
Streaming.
movies. Yeah. Fuck the movie theaters. You're
yeah,
dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's over, yo.
Yeah.
I want to be happy again.
Yeah. I long for the day of happiness. All right, guys, that's been our episode. Good night.
Ta-ta.
Oh, if you have any verses you want us to do or any arguments, any debates,
Yeah.
hit us up.
Send it in.
All right. Thank you, sexy.